And they have changed the process. It used to be they would do the voting on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. It was a marathon session, and whenever they were done, they were done. It was like waiting for a new pope to be elected, and they would go live on NFL Network with whichever of the Hall of Famers were in town for the Super Bowl, and they'd come over and they'd talk after they'd gotten the knock. All of it happened on that Saturday. Well, then came the NFL Honors Ceremony. And, hey, we can't hold up the NFL Honors Ceremony, so we got to move it along. Now they move the NFL Honors Ceremony from Saturday night to Thursday, so they have to have it all done. And now that the whole thing is a TV show, what happens is, Michael, the people who got in already know. They've already gotten their knock. And the people who aren't getting in already know. They've already gotten their maybe next year phone call, which is why it's now reported Eli Manning is not getting in, because he knows he's not getting in. Whoever is getting in, Ken Anderson knows if he's getting in or not. Robert Kraft knows if he's getting in or not. L.C. Greenwood knows if he's getting in or not. They all know at this point. And the fact, and I heard they sign NDAs. I may have mentioned this yesterday. The fact that Bill Belichick blabbed, and he did. You look at the Seth Wickersham and Don Van Natta Jr. story, he spoke when he shouldn't have to others. He violated the NDA. And, boy, it would be a great lawsuit. Hall of Fame versus Bill Belichick. I would be in the front row for the first day of trial, and I would stay there until the verdict is rendered. Great. But it's just like there's a self-importance. Maybe I've finally reached the core of my issue with the Hall of Fame. And it goes all the way back to my days of growing up in Wheeling, West Virginia, where, like, the rich people all belong to the country club, and it's very exclusive, right? And Pete, let me finish my story. And, like, there was just this, like, you put on airs, and there's this self-importance to the country club set, and it's off-putting when they don't want you in. They don't want Italians in the swimming pool. They trust me, West Virginia. I'll go no farther than that. But the reality is, I think I've always had this deep-seated thing because there's this self-importance about the Hall of Fame, and the statement that gets sent out to the voters, and the idea that like it's bigger than it really is. And I think at some point in the past 10 or 15 years, that's when I thought, you know what? Maybe this isn't as big as they think it is. And you and I would be exactly alike if we were on the panel. We'd spend all of our time swinging a sledgehammer trying to break down the things that needed to be fixed, because it should ultimately be about rewarding the right people, having a process in place that is above and beyond these petty little issues, have mechanisms to keep people from acting out whatever revenge they want against this person or this. Like, no. We're going to do this the right way. We're going to put the right people in every year for the right reasons. And we're going to have systems in place that ensure that the voters are making good decisions and that they aren't put in a position where they have to choose between, of 5 people, we have to pick 3 and cast 2 aside. So I think that just kind of explains where I am, why I am, and I'm sitting here reflecting back 50 years ago. I've always had that attitude that, if you're puffing yourself up into something more than you are, you're going to be a target for my scrutiny and criticism. And that's what the Hall of Fame has become. The Hall of Fame is the equivalent of the Wheeling Country Club for me, because I was never getting in. I was never getting past the front door, and all the people on the inside, not the members of the Hall of Fame, the people who I'm talking about from the voting process, there's just that arrogance that emanates from the whole process that I've always kind of been pushing against. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.